Ooh. Who's ready for spooky beers tonight? We are doing a Halloween episode with your host, Count
Nick,
Maxwell Star.
kill for mother, Nick. Kill for
Ah!
mommy. Kill for
It's
mommy.
Greg Voorhees.
That's right.
His
Fresh
liver
from the
dies
albino.
tonight.
Fresh from the Albino Rhino Beer Fest 2008. Look, I got horrifying rips in this shirt too. Like I've been. Oh, look at that one. A normal person would throw these shirts out, but no, I leave them for Nick.
Well, Greg, your shirt is about as slashed as the movies you love. That was bad. I'm sorry. Alrighty, so tonight we are going to do spooky beers. Yes, you did try too hard. We are going to do all kinds of spooky beers. Now, this isn't the beer I'm going to do. This is the one I did last year, but I do have a can of it right here.
It is spooky.
Without further ado, let's get started with who we have with us tonight. Wow, we already have 4 viewers. Lady Lee is here with her spectacular booze.
Yay.
And what booze did you bring with you tonight?
I brought a highballer pumpkin ale.
Ooh, Grand River highballer.
So I have tried all the other pumpkin beers. This is the only one that I haven't tried yet. Because there was quite a few this year. Well, I guess there was quite a few here. I know when I'm in North Bay, there's always like the same too. But I think there was like 4 or 5 to choose from. I think there's 6. Never mind, I lied because there was a stout and I didn't buy it. I don't like stouts.
No, you didn't. The big rig stout, I'm assuming.
Probably. Yes, I have lost my voice. It is gone.
That's all good. It's that all that screaming from the horror.
I'm also dressed as an M&M right now.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Okay, let's move along to Greg, the masked murderer.
That's right.
All right.
Time to murder that liver.
What beer is your mother telling you to murder tonight?
Well, I was planning to bring a beer from I keep forgetting the name of the brewery. Eastbound Brewing Company. I put an order a few days ago. I did an unboxing, but probably nobody watched it. And I ordered 13 beers from them. No specific reason other than they had 13 beers available. They sent me 12, missing the pumpkin beer they included. So they did make it right. It took them a few days. Their customer service could be quicker, but they did make it right. They refunded me, gave me another free code for shipping. But I don't have their pumpkin beer. Oh well. Luckily, I had a backup pumpkin beer. I've tried all the pumpkin beers at the LCBO, but I haven't tried this one this year specifically. And generally, I remember having good memories of it. So we shall see if those good memories continue. From our good friends at Flying Monkeys, I'm having a Theater of Madness.
I bought myself so many pumpkin beers this year because I was like, last weekend, I'm going to go out for Halloween, have fun. I think that's one of the ones I bought too. And then I got fucking sick. So now I have a bunch of pumpkin beers that are going to go bad after tomorrow.
Oh, shit. No, just drink them all tonight. You'll feel better.
They literally will turn into a pumpkin at midnight.
Yeah.
They'll coagulate and become pie.
Exactly. Oh, well, they already taste like pie.
Oh, I didn't even tell Carrie when I carved my pumpkins today. I threw away all the pumpkin seeds, every single one.
Murder.
Do you, man?
Actually, I threw them in my backyard, and I'm hoping to grow pumpkins next year. We shall see if it happens.
Just throwing them on the ground in the fall. Good luck. Good luck.
I wanted to get maximum results with minimal effort, so we'll find out.
I feel like you probably made a bunch of squirrels very, very happy.
Well, then the squirrels making shit out the pumpkin seeds and plant them all over the place. So everyone wins.
Don't think squirrels are swallowing whole pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, that's true. I heard you can grow pumpkin seeds from dog shit of dogs that have eaten pumpkin seeds because I'll tell you, I've tried to feed my dogs pumpkin seeds and they come out the same way they come in.
Well, I know like there's the whole second harvest thing where like if you're starving in the woods and you find some bear crap, you can go through there and find berries and stuff. And there's
I would personally just try and find the source of the berries.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a meme or something. Yeah, I just found it where it was talking about share screen here. I imagine people have already seen this, but
Oh, I brought Sam with me today.
Well, my dog was able to eat pumpkin nut last year. It was actually
Sam, I am
a prolific poo garden.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I've heard apparently that does happen, but I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see if my half-assed attempt to plant pumpkins. I do have some soil I can throw on top of them tomorrow. We'll see.
Nice. It'd be your middle Toronto pumpkins.
There we go.
All right, let's move over to the Red Beard. Red Beard. First of all, how are you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
All right. So what'd you bring with you?
Good. I brought a beer that no one here's ever had. Never before.
Was it Great
Super original? Yeah. Although, shockingly, this beer was made this year. So.
Let's have a look. This one was. Yep, this was made in October. Well, canned October 2nd, 24, and best before October 2nd, 26. So 2 years shelf life on this.
Yeah, I am finding it interesting that they have the 2 year shelf life on it. That's kind of scary, but yeah. Pumpkin lager. Good times.
I do imagine this would probably age just fine, but
yeah.
I'm just.
What was that, Lee?
I just had a lozenger, which wasn't smart when I'm drinking this beer, so I'm kind of having a hard time tasting it.
It's a cuvee.
Right. Okay, so my turn to show off my beer. So I completely struck out trying to find a pumpkin beer. I know I wanted to do this completely as a pumpkin themed episode, but then I changed it to spooky at the last minute because it's my show. And
fuck all y'all.
Fuck all y'all. No, I mean literally, I went down to go grab one of the pumpkin beers, and apparently one of the only ANBL that had a pumpkin beer left, or supposedly had lost an entire case of 24 pumpkin beers from a brewery up in Edmonton, New Brunswick. So, fuck. So yeah, I mean literally, I had like 6 different pumpkin beers at the beginning of the month, and they all sold out, which is, I guess, to be expected. But you know, maybe bringing some more, bitch. So. Spooky themed beers, though. I got one here from PEI, Ruby Social, with a really cool skull and a suit top hat label. It's a strawberry rhubarb wit beer.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
Spooky. 5.0% ABV. So I know this one here came in probably around the same time as all the other fall seasonals did. So I'm running with it. Anyway, so let's circle back and we'll just get some histories on the beers, and then we'll read the massive pile of comments that has been building since like we wanted to go live at 9:20.
How many of them are from Mr. Lee?
About half. All right, Lee, you're up. What's your history with the beer?
I don't have a history with this one. That's the first time I think I've seen this one from them. There was this one, and there was another one that I hadn't seen before for like pumpkin beers. The last one I did was when Sasha passed away, and I demanded that we do beers for me.
That was a fair request.
Yeah, and I kind of sad I didn't bring that one because that one was fucking delicious. But I haven't tried this one yet, so this is a new one for me.
All right. Let's move along to what the fuck is Greg wearing?
It's a plague doctor mask, I think.
Well, it's similar.
Or at least part of one. Or
sex party.
Or it's just some sort of phallic thing. Now you can't wear this to sex parties. It doesn't stay on my head very well. Actually, it's staying on my head pretty well.
It looks like a plague doctor-esque thing, but like it looks like something you'd wear like a masquerade or something. One of those weird fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like I had a face hugger on my head, but then I just kind of clipped its legs off and kept the rest of it because I like the cool tail. Anyways, I can actually drink with this one very carefully, but.
So I'm assuming you've had this beer before, though, Greg, right?
I have had, Nick. I, in fact, Untapped, which is becoming more and more inaccurate since I don't use it much anymore. I should catch up on the 50 last beers I've had. I had it in 2021, according to Untapped, and that's the only time I've ever had it before. Now, unofficially, so I could be lying about this, but unofficially, I believe I've had it every year since, because I think that's probably the first year they came out with it. I typically buy just about every pumpkin beer, at least one of every pumpkin beer they have at the LCBO, and try them every year. So there's a pretty good chance I've had it every year since. So that's my history.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I know the shirt looks red on camera, at least it does to me, but man, that is a terrible hole. I'm just gonna hide that. Yeah, it's actually an orange shirt, although to me it's looking quite red on camera, but it is orange. So
looks orange to me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because I look at the camera, I'm like, man, it looks like a red shirt.
Like, it looks the exact same color as Nick's, except Nick has like brighter light on his. From what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I am in a dimly lit room. Like you probably can't even see Bella, because you can kind of see Bella. There she is. There's Bruce. Both of them just chilling and alive.
All right, let's go over to the beard and Beardo.
Yeah.
What's your history with the beer? I know you've got a history too.
I've had it.
You've had it?
I've had it.
That's it.
I want to say I tried it the first year it came out, and then I'm pretty sure I had it the next year it came out, when it was the same batch of beer as the year before, and they were selling the year-old stuff. And I think this is my third, maybe fourth time having this beer. So,
sweet. Alrighty.
Good times.
Let's go over to me, and I'll say my history with this beer.
Hi, Nick.
No, I'm not really sure. I know I've had this before. I don't think I've ever reviewed it. Upstreet first became a thing like in, I forget, 2016, 2017. I wonder if maybe it's long enough ago I can look it up on my Untapped real quick here. They'll let me log in. I'm not a robot. Upstreet. Hey, look, this first one came up. I have had it way back in 2017 at the Big Axe Beer Festival. It's funny that I'm mentioning that because I'm literally drinking it out of my Big Axe Beer Festival glass from this year, my VIP glass, Axe themed because of slasher shit. Yeah, I like this shit. So we'll get into more of that now. I'm actually thinking if I don't know if I filmed any beer reviews at the back in 2017 Beer Fest, the Big Axe Beer Fest. That was the first year they had the Big Axe Beer Fest. Anyway, that's my very nondescript history of it. That should have been researched before we started the show. All right. We got a shit ton of comments, especially from Mr. Lee, who's probably going to make fun of me for all this. Anybody ever read them?
Don't worry. He makes fun of everyone. Well, except for Lady Lee. He's not an equal opportunist.
Any volunteers for a reader?
I was listening.
You read them.
Oh my God, I was going to say I was going to read, but that's the worst thing for me to read them.
You want me to read these?
You never read them.
Yeah, Nick, you read them. You're a good boy.
Lee Russell says, "Who's the kooky cat? Who's more of a dog? Lee Van Teeth. Okay. Who's the hairy stranger that perverts the shadows and the fog? Lee Van Teeth. Yeah, but I don't know what song. Who's haunting gent who will bite you just right? Lee Van Teeth. Great. Who's the big bad wolf who wants to tuck you in at night? Sing it, Lee.
Lee Van Teeth.
All right. Okay, so he's on the prowl. He's gonna howl. Lee Van Teeth. Yeah. He's rocking now. He's gonna now. Lee Van Teeth. We're waiting on Greg and Beard. This shows to show how long those comments came in, like almost half an hour ago at this point. Greg and Carrie, the worst show to link, sacks of poop. Well,
I am rarely late. You burn in hell.
You were like 10 minutes
to be fair,
late.
we were.
I was late tonight. I said I'm rarely. I said I was.
I was 3 minutes
tonight.
early because I expected an 8:30 start unless I'm told otherwise. So
fire them and hire Albino Rhino and Jay Terrio.
I actually do agree with that. I do
change
think
the name of the show to Examinations.
I do think you, Rhino, and Jay Terrio and Lady Lee would just be a wonderful show.
Right.
They're worth watching for sure.
You're soon. Get a room. Thanks. Hey, look, it's Friday the 13th. That's
wow.
That's funnily.
Yeah, not that
Kent Peerviews is in the chat about 15 minutes ago. But hi, Craig. How you doing? If you're still watching,
on, Craig.
Probably not.
Cheers,
cheers all the same. Hopefully you're doing all right. Lee Russell says hi, Craig. PA Brew News. Paul's in the chat saying cheers. Cheers, of course, to Mr. Paul, PA Brew News. Jen says cheers, Lee, Craig. Yo, Paul. But brewing a bitter at the moment. Well, you're always a little bitter, aren't you? Brandon's in the chat saying I never got any spooky beers, but got a random sour.
That's pretty
random spooky sour. Nice.
Sours are terrifying.
Sours can be scary.
Exactly.
Why the hell don't I have a wrench? Why would you need a wrench to? Are you trying to intentionally impart that metallic taste into whatever bitter you're brewing? Nick hates you, Paul. No, I don't hate you.
Oh, the wrench beside his name. He wants to be an admin. Hey, I'm not an admin either, so.
All you're gonna do is attract rodents, Greg. And what's he talking about with that shirt you got?
No, I think he was talking about dumping the pumpkin seeds. We shall see.
Lee Russell says enjoys Carrie's Halloween costume. Very good redheaded dude from The Thing.
yeah, the dude who looks after the dogs.
I put a lot of effort into it.
All right.
Yeah, he does look like the dude who looks after the dogs.
Anyway, the Albino Rhino is in the chat. Ronald would be there telling you how much he loves every beer in existence. You're not wrong. He would give it an A-. Very good beer.
A lot of beers.
All right, so
he loves everyone. Is there anything that Jay Terrio doesn't like?
Women,
black people.
Oh,
wow!
You went there.
We're trying to be subtle.
All right.
Wow. No.
Honestly,
Jay Terrio is definitely giving his Louisiana beer news or whatever beer.
I wonder which candidate he'll vote for.
Gee, I wonder.
Yeah.
I like beer. Let's keep talking about beer.
Albino Rhino says you beat me, Carrie. Albino Rhino. PA Bernice says well read said before I typed it. I probably wouldn't have got the comment. No reason to be subtle about that sack of racist shit. Yeah. We can go on all night about Jay, that guy. I've seen some fucked up shit that he was sharing on Facebook while he was still friends with me way back.
Not really worth our time.
Not really
anyone's time at that matter.
All right, that's all the comments.
This is only allegedly. We don't want to get sued. Allegedly, in our own opinion.
Nice hairdo.
Hashtag MLO.
I can do the
grab a hold of those.
What?
Yeah, it's true. Someone could grab
it. Wait, she have to take her hair down or something to do that right now. She's not prepared for the embarrassed blush face today.
She's too busy feeling horribly sick.
She's not feeling horribly sick. She's just very tired right now.
No.
Here we all are. It's been a long week.
I don't know. Was I supposed to be embarrassed by something? Did I miss something?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Be embarrassed by being around us.
He's just anticipating the future. Pegging Wendy. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
No, we're safe today.
Dave's
chasing Amy, pegging Wendy.
I know Mr. Lee's into redheads, so I just wanted to really confuse him tonight. He's having involuntary boners right now. I'm trying to punch them away.
I had to get one of those.
Stop it,
work well with my beard.
That's why Lee can't resist a comment in the chat because he wants to know who that cute redhead is.
Oh.
I don't mean Redbeard. Which went. Anyway, all right. So
I'm more red faced than redheaded at this point.
I mean, just imagine if he took his beard and put it on me, that would just be the ultimate sex symbol.
There you go.
All right, I guess we're not that. It's only 20 minutes in, but we want to give our thoughts on some beers, or
I mean, we can stretch the show longer if you want, Nick. We can talk about all sorts of things.
I'm used to getting to this point like at the 40-minute mark. I'm just.
I mean, we already talked about eating berries out of bear shit and racism in America. What more do you want today?
I mean, Jay Terrio in America.
Yeah, he's the only. He's the only one.
And just like the last 5-8 minutes is shown, we do read comments and answer comments. If anybody wants to let us know,
comment.
Even
if you want to insult us, go ahead. I ain't afraid of you.
Lee Russell says, "Hi, YouTube algorithm. This is why I get 0 views. Now, this is why I only get like 20 views on a video. It's because it's like subscribers are the only ones that actually check this shit out."
Well, I feel like it's got a lot to do with the fact that your channel's more or less a wasteland aside from this one thing you do.
Upload every week there, Carrie.
You do. I'm not denying that, but at the same time, that's it. And there's no other activity. So I don't know, like that. I don't know. Like new people show up now and then.
Yeah.
For a second.
Like this guy, Brandon from work, who
yeah.
I don't know. Are you
corrupt
that Crown Royal you bought tonight there, Brandon? Crown Royal, whatever it was you were drinking it with. Oh, eggnog. He's going
Crown Royal
tonight.
Okay, so Nick, you need to have a sit down. We don't want Brandon to become the next Dan. You need to have a sit down with him and explain to him that you don't
stop drinking lactose beer before it's too late.
No. Listen, eggnog is fine, but it's not fine before November 1st. Otherwise, you become Dan. If Brandon doesn't know who Dan is, trust me, you don't want to become Dan.
Dan was drinking eggnog back in.
Who was apparently supposed to be in the show tonight, but
he couldn't afford to get the beer tonight.
Dan's been mainlining eggnog since way back in the day.
He's like paydays tomorrow.
I don't know.
Can be stopped.
yeah, but can diabetes?
I don't know anyone else who drinks
That's
eggnog right of the carton, dude. Just like mine. And I like eggnog, but I'm like, that's a bit much. You got to drink it out of the fancy moose glass, like a classy fella.
Oh yeah, the Clark Griswold moose glass.
Yeah, that's the only way to drink eggnog.
He just fucking funnel. He's just funneling the shit. Doesn't even taste it.
I didn't even touch the sides. All right, let's cut to the chase on this one. I'm going to put Lady Lee up front here in a second, and let's talk about you talk about your beer.
I'm having a dilemma with my beer because I can get some good flavors, but I think like because I'm stuffed up and because I'm like I just getting over a cold, I'm not tasting as I should. Thankfully, I did buy a second one so I can try it when I'm not sick.
Yeah.
But from what I am getting, there's actually some pretty good flavor in this. I'm actually pretty stoked because the last 2 beers I've had, like pumpkin beers I've had, have actual like pumpkin flavor to it. Like the last one I found tasted more like fall. It just had more to it. This one has a little less, but it's still like I can still taste it. It's nothing. I find it's a very basic beer. Like they're not trying to do anything like too overly fancy with it. It is like a little red, not crazy, but it's still like nice and dark-ish. But it has like. So it doesn't taste like a pumpkin spice. Because I know a lot of times when you see like the pumpkin or any pumpkin beers, it's automatically pumpkin spice. This one doesn't have that. Like it kind of has like a hint in the background, but it's not like kick you in the face. Like it's obvious that it's pumpkin spice. So I enjoy this flavor. Like I am enjoying it for sure. It smells nice too. Like I think it probably tastes better if I wasn't sick. Like that's the only thing that sucks, but it still tastes pretty good. Like this, I'm still like quite enjoying this. It's just because like I can smell more to it and I'm not tasting it. And I just honestly think it's because I'm like so full of everything from medication right now.
Plus a lozenge.
Well, you're allowed to be sick.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Lozenge, yeah, like having the howls before the episode. Everything tastes like eucalyptus. Yeah, but that fades away after a bit. So yeah,
it's getting more flavor. I think I'm like slowly because the lozenge that I had is slowly dissipating. But yeah, it's really good. This is actually really good. It's kind of what I want from like a pumpkin beer. It has like personality. Like it's not just a basic beer that has pumpkin spice and that's it. And you could barely taste any of it. This actually has flavor. It has depth. It's got like I was like take it home at night. Like it's good. It's got personality. So I'm enjoying it. For a pumpkin beer. It's so weird right now trying to rate because like yeah. For a pumpkin beer, I'm gonna go. Fuck, I don't know. I just keep tasting more as like time goes on. So I this is like the worst time for me to go.
You want us to come back to you like at the end?
Yeah, like we can circle back if you want to give your scores after Greg and
maybe because I'm just getting my taste back.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right, let's come back to Lady Lee. She can give her final thoughts. Let's go over to Greg is next, right? Gregorina.
I am. Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Now he's like Mrs. Voorhees.
Is this like Greg Alice?
No, but this is Voorhees had.
He has black hair.
This is like you're like that chick from It Follows or something. That's the, with the platinum blonde hair.
All right. Well, you know your platinum blonde's better than I do, Nick.
Crying over you. No, not that platinum blonde. All right, let's go, Greg.
Music reference. I didn't get it anyways. I like this. I like this as I do. I think I would say there are other pumpkin beer paranormal I prefer, but I don't see that one anymore. I think it might be a brewery only release nowadays or something. I haven't seen that in the LCBO for a while. Office is 10%, so obviously better. But this one at 6% is very nice. It's got all the pumpkin flavors, and yes, they do use actual pumpkin. Oh, and there's lactose in there too, so of course Dan approved. But I find it that it doesn't get too much. Like some of the pumpkin beers get really, really in there with the spices. And this one kind of doesn't. It has flavor to it, but it's a nice mix. And I actually do feel this beer, like it sort of reminds me, like if you kind of mix like an Innocent Gun original, but like kind of back when they used to be a little bit better, and almost mixed it with pumpkin spices. That's kind of what this reminds me of. And it's actually a pretty nice beer because it's not overly heavy, not overly spicy. I mean, it's probably my favorite pumpkin beer I've had this year. The GLB one's pretty good, generally speaking, but I find it more on the smooth side than it is flavor-wise. And the flavors it does have, not necessarily the ones I want. It's still pretty solid. Still probably my second favorite this year because some of them just go nuts with I don't know if it's the nutmeg or the cinnamon or whatever the hell it is, but some of them are just a little too much.
So this in general, because pumpkin spice has a lot of flavor, so I find they just like, oh hey, it's pumpkin and we don't have pumpkin, so let's just fucking load it with pumpkin spice.
Well, and that's the other thing is pumpkin itself doesn't add that much flavor, so it's
it's a subtle flavor.
Let's just go completely nuts. So anyways, I am going to give this as a pumpkin beer. If I would give this a pumpkin beer in Ontario, a very specific rating, I would might even go like a 9, 5, 10. But as it is a pumpkin beer in general, because I have had some really good ones from the States, I'll give this a 9, which is still pretty generous. I mean, especially since I don't have access to most of the ones from the States anymore. Like if I had a pumpkin right beside this or something barrel aged, it'll be no contest. But considering what we have access to, this is a really good beer. Personal enjoyment. I will go an 8.5 on it. I actually quite enjoy this beer, and this is actually one of the few pumpkin beers I could actually drink outside of pumpkin season. I feel it wouldn't go bad by November 1st because it's not like it doesn't just kick you in the head with pumpkin spices over and over again and say, hey, this is no good until after Halloween. This is kind of like, I can actually see like keeping a couple cans of this and drinking them in like, I don't know, January or something. It would just be like a nice, you could almost just kind of call it a winter warmer in a way because they share a lot of the same spices. So
yeah.
There's a brewery that may or not exist here in North Bay that had a pumpkin beer that didn't sell very well, and when Christmas came around, they just rebranded it as a Christmas beer, and it sold very well. So, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. They aren't that different flavor-wise. It's usually just a couple of different spices they substitute, and I would assume the Christmas beer wouldn't traditionally have pumpkin in it, but
I don't know. I think it was more of a pumpkin spice beer or something. I don't remember, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it might have been. Doesn't that? Okay, no, there. Doesn't that shadow look like a boob behind me?
I guess a little upswept, kind of perky.
Kind of a boob. You got a nipple there and everything. It's great.
It almost looks like it's kind of weird though how far up the shadow is. That like the boob is like near the belly button area or something in the chest, if that's the chest.
No, it's just
imagine that a useless tit would cast a shadow of a boob on the wall.
There you go. That's not me. That's not me casting the shadow next to you. It's
okay, sorry.
It's not that. No, there's the nipple. There's the bottom of the. I'm trying to do this like on the camera. It's kind of hard. Okay, there we go. There's the bottom of the boob. There's the nipple that way, and there's the top.
Are you like that desperate to find boobs in your life?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Greg we're asking. What the hell?
I don't know. I just have to see mine every day. So.
I can see Agnes's all the time. I can see Agnes's all the time too.
I don't even have to have a wife. I just look in the mirror.
I do the same thing with my penis. It's just not that exciting. It's like, oh, that thing. Stop getting me into trouble.
Right. All right. So let's let me move on to the beard and get his thoughts on the exact same.
I don't have my hair today to do that, Greg.
That's why I'm doing it for you.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
I find this beer to be way too much of the pumpkin spice. Like it's like horribly sweet. It is way, way, way too sweet. It's got the lactose shit going on. I'm not sure if that's, but it's like I'm not enjoying this. I'm glad it's basically gone at this point. Like it's I don't get any pumpkin in like the flavor, or generally when they put actual pumpkin into a beer, it gives it a bit of a body. It's a lager, so fair enough in that point, but still, like just all I'm getting is like that cinnamony, all spicy, lactose sweetness, fucking, and that's it across the board, really. It is lingering there, in the back of my throat. Like it's. I've had tastier lagers with pumpkin. I'm going to give that a 6.5 for the style and a 6.25 overall enjoyment. I don't like this.
What was it? 6.25 for overall. What was your style rating?
6.5.
6.5. Okay. All right. Just making sure I jot that down. Not that I factor these ratings into anything.
It's so sweet.
It's fine. It's funny that I don't find it sweet because I'm normally triggered by sweetness, but yeah, for whatever reason, I don't. I guess I'm comparing it to other pumpkin beers. Like it's not a. I'm not gonna say it's not a sweet beer, but just I find other pumpkin beers so much sweeter.
I find again, like if they do the pumpkin pie thing right, it's sweet, but generally like everything balances out. This is just. It's still like that lingering sweetness, and it's fucking. It's. Yeah, not a big fan.
Right. Lee says his sweetness often triggers people.
It does.
I mean, Lee
there's something about you that triggers people.
Anyway, all right. Thank you, Redbeard. Let's go over to. Let's actually bring back Lady Lee to see if she's got any thoughts in her beer now.
Yes. Okay. I thought it was a little more muted than it was as I was like regaining it. So it was kind of this weird thing. So I was taking the first few sips, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm noticing some flavors, but everything seems very muted." And then I realized it was just because like the lozenger was like still there, and it just lost its intensity as I was drinking. Anyways, the same thing. This is still really good. There's a lot of flavor behind it. The thing is, what I like about these beers, like when they do it right, there's lots of flavor, but it's not like in your face, like fuck you. It's like it's still like a subtle flavor, but it's like there's a lot of depth to it. So you can taste like this one does have pumpkin in it. You can taste that pumpkin, and yes, they have the pumpkin spice. So like, it has a nice taste to it. Like it has this nice fallness to it. I could definitely see like Halloween being like, yes, let's drink these ones because it's good. I like it. It's like I said before, it has a fun personality. Like it's just a beer that I enjoy. It does have like a little bit of maltiness as well. So yeah, it tastes like fall. It tastes like, but it doesn't taste like candy. It just tastes like fall. So it's not too sweet, but it is rather tasty. So style wise, again, I think like I'm missing some flavor notes just because it doesn't matter. It's like getting my taste back. Just unfortunately, when you're sick, you don't taste things as good. But style wise, I'll give this an 8.5. I think. Oh fuck. Yeah, I think like if I was 100%, I'd be more confident with my answer. But I'm gonna give it an 8.5. And then personal preference, I've been holding back to drinking this, so I'm gonna easily give it a 9. Like I'm going through it pretty quickly. Actually, fuck it, give it 9.5. Like it's going down really smooth.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm drinking it really quickly. I'm trying to slow down so I could review it, but I like it. I really like it.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Good review of it. All right, my turn to talk shit about this beer. No, I don't think it's shit. Probably the least pumpkin-y beer in this entire panel. Obviously. Strawberry rhubarb wit beer. So, what do you expect out of this? I expect something that tastes like strawberries, something that has some rhubarb in it, and has those good, nice wit beer flavors. So I do get like a freshish strawberry, kind of like it's more of that tannic sour strawberry tartness, less of the sweetness. I figure maybe they probably added the strawberries or used fresh strawberries to before the fermentation process, so the sugars got fermented out. I don't taste the rhubarb at all. Of course, I'm not super familiar with rhubarb. Yeah, I do know what rhubarb is. Maybe it's kind of blending in with that strawberry tartness that I'm getting, but I don't really. There's nothing doesn't really jump out at me. If I see something that says strawberry rhubarb, I want to taste the strawberry and the rhubarb both. But I'm not holding that too much against it because at the same time I'm getting a nice delicious wit beer to go with it. And now it's not focusing because it's focusing on my face. Yeah, it's definitely an enjoyable beer. Like I said, when it comes to being flavored, I kind of want to taste the flavors. And instead, I'm just getting a decent strawberry tart. I guess there is a little bit of rhubarb in there now that I think of it. But it's okay. It's got a nice the amount of strawberry that's in there kind of overrated. It's not like a candied strawberry. It's just a nice. They must have used real fruit to brew this. The whip beer taste, I get that nice like that like cereal like the wheat grain. I hit the not so much caramel, but that hint of like a banana. Banana cloviness that you would get in with a typical wheat beer. I'm not really getting any spices that would be associated with wheat beer, so nothing like coriander or anything. But overall, I'm getting a nice, easy, smooth, drinking beer that's actually quite flavorful, even if I want to split hairs and say it's like, well, I kind of want more rhubarb out of this, but I digress. So, I mean, for the style, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7.5 for overall enjoyment. Because, I mean, I still like it, and I probably would get this again. And that is a really cool label with a Ruby Social. Anyway.
Okay.
Spooky. Alrighty. So let's go back to the comments. And since I'm the poor victim that's reading them all tonight, I have to scroll way back and look at good question, Reddit. Forget what that was about. Albino Rhino says if you carbonated it, he could shotgun it.
The question was the diabetes.
Oh yeah, the barrel aged lactose.
You know what? Dan sent me. No, I don't think the barrel aged version, but I think it was the Krampus, whatever beer that New Level makes.
Yeah, and isn't a New Krampus that's like the eggnog stout.
Yeah, and it was pretty fucking tasty. Actually, I really enjoyed it, and I'm not an eggnog fan, but it was really good. So
I think you sent that to us, and we either did a review on it or we did a BA101 on it, didn't we?
Maybe a review.
I think it was wrong though. Yeah. I feel like he sent me one and we did a group review on it.
Possibly. He might have sent me both. I can't remember, but I remember it was fucking tasty. I was very impressed. It wasn't like what he sent the dill pickle, the pickle sour, where I was scared and it turned out to be like well warranted because that beer was fucked up. Okay. The eggnog one, I was like, but ended up being like, holy shit, this is delicious. It was really good.
I remember Dan sent me this Lefroy barrel aged porter that was fucking amazing. All right, so Brandon's saying I just got a sour from Gahan, jam packed raspberry sour. Okay, yeah, that's right. I've had that one before.
Cannot go wrong with a good raspberry sour.
Yeah. Lol. Nobody says there's a barrel aged eggnog stout in Regina right now. He would love it.
Maybe.
Sounds interesting. Brandon's like, I also had some Crown Royal vanilla mixed with eggnog tonight, but I can't drink much eggnog. 2 glasses were all I could stand of the eggnog. That's more than us, the eggnog, and I can stand. I don't mind having a glass in the season, but hey, that's the thing. I'll buy eggnog, and then the carton will just sit there in the fridge growing old because I just like I'm not in the mood for eggnog. I like eggnog, but I'm not in the mood for eggnog, and then all of a sudden it's past the best before date. So apparently Lee says, way to ruin the show, Lady Lee. So I don't know how Lee ruined the show.
Probably with her sickness taste buds.
Lee ruined the show by taking 2 months off of beer. Greg is old, useless. Laurie Stroud.
Yeah, Laurie that's Strode. Actually should be my costume. Yeah,
Laurie Strode. You're useless in Halloween Kills.
Just wait till you see her in Halloween End.
I haven't seen that yet. Rooting for Lee's taste buds to recover, which it sounded like they did. Lee says, what is next week's beer? We actually need to decide that. Dan says, Ola, welcome to the show, Dan. PA Bernie sounds like shit.
Dan, you can still join.
Right. 6.25 is generous for something you don't like. Lee says, my sweetness office trigger people. PA News, you're very sweet, Lee. Aww. Target practice? I don't know what that one's about. So
I said do a post steaming at him.
Yeah. Lee Russell was about to attack Lady Lee for saying lozenger instead of lozenge, but apparently that's a thing. Did you say you played a lozenger there, Goldfinger?
We got fucking low Connery over here.
Right. Some solid. And Greg over there like odd job.
Yeah.
You're like blowjob. Anyway,
that's
so
the one that throws his hat.
Yeah, it's the one where he throws his hat and anyway. Brandon saying some solid reviews flowing. There's definitely a lot of flowing on these episodes.
Well, the guy in the Michael Myers movie that threw his shoe. That's funny. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Destination Unknown, Ruby Social. Okay, Ruby.
Destination Unknown. Ruby
Soho. Okay. Music reference. Guy won't get it.
I like that character.
To know.
I like that Bond villain knickknack whose special power is being a midget.
Wasn't that Man with the Golden Gun where the
I think so.
Herb Velches or whatever his name was playing the henchman to Christopher Lee? It was basically like I wonder if that was actually the template for the Love Boat that came after. Then they couldn't get Christopher Lee, so they used Ricardo Montalban instead.
You're
whatever.
You're way
Treasure Island or whatever it was.
You're way past my knowledge level on any of these.
Okay, so because Man with the Golden Gun came out, I'm pretty sure before. This wasn't the Love Boat. It was like
Love Island. No,
it was Love Island or whatever it was. The one that
Love
had
Island.
Love
Island. Which one
I
had the
can
most
take
fucking
all the
on it?
months off the show, Nick. Well, yeah, you can. Apparently.
Wow, Nick seems a little bitter.
All right, so let's circle back around and talk to Lady Lee about all the beers you heard here tonight. Which one would you rather have tried?
It's funny that you like the selection tonight because it's essentially 2 that I've had and 1 that I haven't. So by process of elimination, Nick, you're the only one left.
All right, I'll put that on me. All right, thank you, Lady Lee. Let's go over to Greg's Liver Dies Tonight.
Basically, copy, paste. There's even a boob behind me of what Lady Lee said, and that way, there it is. Yeah. So copy paste what Lady Lee said, and hey, we both look fabulous tonight. So there you go, Nick. I think you win at this point, but
I think so
pretty
too.
settled at this point because. All right, unless Carrie blurs the lines and picks a different beer. Carrie, what do you think? What of all the beers you heard here tonight? 3 different ones. Well, one's the same. Which one would you rather have?
Greg's.
I mean, it makes sense.
It sounds like he got a different batch or something, and his actually sounds tasty. So
sounds like a better version.
Like, what was your canning dates on those 2 again?
I think they're the same, but they could have finished one batch and got into a different batch in the same day. It's October or something. It's fucking. I hate that my eyes aren't perfect anymore. October 3rd, I want to say this is.
Oh, okay. So they made my great one on the 2nd, and they made Carrie's crappy one on the 3rd.
There we go. I got the all the like spices and sweet stuff got concentrated to the bottom of the fucking thing or whatever.
Which, you know what, especially for a one, probably one big one-off batch that they make every year. That's actually totally possible that you could have gotten more dredges.
Like mine is just way too concentrated in the sweet spices, and it's fucking not tasty. So
mine was just scooped off the top with less flavor.
Yeah, you just skim.
The guy that brewed it on the Friday or something just wanted to go home, so he just hucked the rest of the spices into the brew.
It'll be fine. It's gonna
It'll just be extra flavorful.
Yeah.
All right. My turn to vote on the orange pumpkin beer.
Oh, so
everybody else has a pumpkin beer except for me. Now I've had both Highballer and Flying Monkeys Theater of Madness. I'm actually going to vote for Lady Lee's beer. I haven't had Highballer in a few years, and I'm not a fan at all of Grand River. But that beer was the best thing they ever made. Which
they're also under new ownership now.
Yeah, I think they're under. I don't even think Grand River is a thing anymore, and that's just brewed
Weren't
under.
They the one that made that Russian gun?
Yes,
stout,
they made Russian gun, and that was shit.
Oh, I remember enjoying that
when I had it. I bought a couple of cans of it, and I think one of them I never drank, and that's a sad thing to say about Imperial Stouts.
Yeah.
Which are usually
I mean they're fucking old school. I mean that Highballer pumpkin ale, I'm not saying it hasn't changed over the years, but that beer has been around longer than I've been drinking craft beer. So that's probably the second pumpkin beer I ever had after GLB. If you look up their old can art, it looks like they stole it from a fucking Peanuts cartoon. Peanuts, not penis.
Well, check this out. Like, this is how long ago I reviewed Highballer Pumpkin Ale on my phone. It was like before my late fiance passed. No, it was.
I think that's the Peanuts can art.
Yeah, well, that's back when it was still in bottles. But like, this is Yeah, January 3rd. This was recorded in 2013 at some point. Like, where's the close up of the label? This is like,
yeah. See,
this is
look
like
a
reviews that
fucking
were.
cartoon.
Yeah, this is like reviews that were in the can at the time that Neely died. So I just had a whole backlog that I needed to clear off. It took me a long time to clear through all these old reviews that were recorded at Scott's place back in 2013. So,
well, all I can say, Nick, is those three other fellas look like they'll be lifelong friends, and there's no way you guys will ever stop talking.
No, I'm still friends with Sean.
Fantasy Island. That's it. Thank you, Lee.
Fantasy Island.
The plane.
Finally, somebody knows what they're talking about these obscure 60s shows.
Also, I got Lee's vote, so that just wins for me.
What's the Fantasy Island 70s show?
I think so.
Lee is not a reliable source for voting for Lady Lee.
Didn't
yeah, well, here's the thing.
You know, it's funny. Every time he doesn't vote for
we
me,
go to the chat for a vote.
But then when he like votes for me, everyone's like, favoritism. Favoritism.
It is favoritism.
You, no matter what.
Well, the 80s, fair enough.
Which is nothing wrong with, I guess. But okay.
Also, he's not on the show, so his vote doesn't count.
Here's the thing: there was already a winner before, so there's no.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that's the one that counts for me.
And of course, that winner is me.
We already called
Rabble.
Social.
They took our jobs.
Yeah, if I had known I could vote for my own beer, I would have voted for red beer just because, like, I want to try a shitty version of this beer. Carrie and I have to do a beer swap.
There we go.
Or not.
If Greg had voted for Carrie's beer, then Lady Lee would win because there's a tiebreaker.
Oh, well.
So stick with Nick.
I was kind of right. It started in the 70s. Look at me go. Didn't they reboot Treasure Island? Oh, sorry, Fantasy Island somewhat recently, and it
probably
did well. I think.
Or is that Love Island?
No, that was a thing too. There was like, well, remember there was Love Boat too back in the day. On the Love Boat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a sequel to Titanic.
This is a sequel.
It's 20 degrees right now, and I fucking hate it.
All right, let's go.
You don't like the warm weather?
Not
Fantasy Island. Lee voted for Lee's beer. Albino Rano says, yeah, the new owner and brewer didn't make Highballer much better, but it's still pretty consistent. Meh. Brandon says, oh, wow. I don't know what that was to. 1980s?
Probably just impressed by Nick's
started in the 70s. It was in the early 80s that Fantasy Island was out. And yes, it's a horror movie, apparently.
2020.
I don't know. I don't know if he was talking about Titanic 2 or not, because I think there's more than one Titanic 2. Because I think I don't think the name Titanic is copyrighted.
Like to raise the Titanic.
It also get 2021 TV series. It was rebooted as a TV series as well. So
yeah, well, they're rebooting everything because there's no fucking original ideas anymore.
This is more.
You're not wrong.
At least it seems that way.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
what original beer are we gonna do next week, Nick?
You know what? I was actually leaning towards Sing this because I think we were talking about one beer before that Bose one. What? Okay, there's another option. There is Cowbell Bobcat Red.
Fuller's Vintage Ale showed up in my
I
LCBO.
just looked it up while we were talking on the chat. Apparently, I can still get it here, and it's available in Alexandria and in North Bay.
What beer?
But if you want to do Bose, if you want to take a trip over to the brewery, go right ahead. We'll do the Bose Juicy AF. So, Lady Lee, it's your choice. Considering it's your last week on for a bit.
There's double Juicy AF as well.
Yeah, I can't get that.
It comes in a stupid huge can.
You're a stupid huge can.
You know it.
Wow.
Hold on, let me just check something.
You want to get in a scale and dispute that, fucker?
Oh, are you gonna fat shame me?
You're the one to just called me a huge stupid can. Fuck you.
I mean, to be fair, you fat shamed Carrie first.
To be fair, you are a tall boy.
Which one?
That works.
I'm
a tall boy, Nick. I'm a tall boy next to King Can.
Which cowbell? Sorry.
Cowbell Bobcat Red.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Can Greg get that?
We haven't done that? I know I've had that before. Did they rename that, didn't they? I'm pretty sure it used to have a different name.
He just showed up here in New Brunswick like a month ago. So
Cowbell's been around for a while. I'm pretty sure it used to have a different name.
But it's gone.
It's not that easy to get in Toronto, weirdly enough.
Oh, you have to drive more than 5 kilometers away.
Yeah, exactly. That would be terrible.
Can you get it?
I would probably have to order it and try to get it into my store.
Is the Bose one easier then?
Is the Bose one easier, Greg?
I don't know.
UCAF is all over the damn place, isn't it? That's like one of their fucking mainstays now.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Let me have a look. Double juiced AF. Oh, AF is it AF hazy IPA?
Yeah, juiced AF hazy IPA from Bose.
Yeah, that one I can.
Okay, let's just do that one then. If it's easier, let's just do that one.
I'll try to get the cowbell one at some point, but I think I'm gonna have to order it to get it to a closer store.
How about?
All right, let's say this one tentatively. What were you gonna say, Lee? Sorry,
I was gonna say we'll do this one for next week, and then I can grab the cowbell. Whoever grabs the cowbell, and then he can order it whenever he gets it in. We can do it.
Okay. All right, well, talk about it now. Here's my dilemma with this one is that the stock's very limited of the juiced AF beer, so it depends on whether I can get a can of this. There's like 4 cans, which mean maybe there's like 1, 2 left on the shelf, and the rest were stolen or dropped on the floor. There's 25 in one store around here, but that could just mean like 1 stolen can and a flat of 2-4 that they were short stocked on or something.
You're very, very optimistic about this shit.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking pissed off at how terrible they are at their inventory over it.
Hey, when I went to go get a beer at the LCBO, I think it was the Lion Stout a month or 2 back at this point. You know, they had like 22 in the store, and I asked like the lady, I'm like, who's stocking the shelves, where it was. She was like, oh, I don't know. And she came back with the manager. She's like, yeah, no, somebody just stole the whole case. I'm like, oh, okay, they stole the whole case. Yeah, they just walked out with it. But LCBO is like, I mean, I'm not saying they should put their life on the line for it, but it's actually kind of sad how people just walk into the LCBO, bring a case, pick up a case, just walk out, and the LCBO staff is like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
I will call the cops, but
I think depending on where they're located, like Toronto and bigger cities and stuff, you try to stop the person, they might turn around with a knife or a gun or some shit. Who the fuck knows? So.
Oh yeah, I mean,
some person in a small town, like in a lot of small towns, the general store will be an LCBO agency. In those instances, someone tried to walk out, you're probably gonna get your ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like
that looks interesting.
That's a weird beer.
This is the one I had for last year's Halloween episode.
Is that like green? It looks like a weird green color.
Well, yeah, I think about it. It's like amber beer plus blue raspberry, so it's kind of like weird. I thought this would be more blue, to be honest.
I think Lady Lee's gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take this offline anyway. So have a good night, Lady Lee. Here you go.
Happy Halloween.
We're gonna take off as well.
Halloween.
So thank you everybody for watching. That's Lee Russell,
nice penis.
Brandon, Paul, Craig, if you're still floating around. And was that it we had tonight? Dan.
Torgo's watching. Hi.
Cheers, Bob Bonorano. We'll talk to you folks later. Chris Peters, go.